everybody? Welcome back to the stream. This is Inebriated Games. Very sober games is what I'm gonna start calling it. But yeah, I think I had a glitch in the matrix earlier. So I did do one mission here, and I was mining. I basically just mined up a mural. Oh wow, my inventory is stacked. Yeah, I did a bunch of things, but looking at my inventory, I think I might need to head back to my main base and sell a few things. However, I do want to take a second to go through a few pirate systems. Reason being is I just want to oh yeah. So I'm currently in a pirate system. This is where I was mining my mural, but I needed some indium and cadmium. And I also noticed I don't have any activated cadmium. So I got cadmium, but I don't have activated cadmium. So I'm gonna grab some more of that. There was nothing on a dissonant planet. Remember we learned yellow dissonant planets only. See what's in this system. You know, I was thinking I have a good chance in life. I think it feels like one of my final chances in life to play catch up with I don't know, finding a better position in life than where I was a year ago. It's a strange feeling, but I feel like I have the chance and the time to finally do that. So I think I will be doing that moving forward. Salad Planet. I just want to see if they got on here what I hope they have on this planet. So I am gonna stop drinking. I'm gonna stop doing a lot of things, and I'm gonna start talking more. You know, I've always been a talker, and sometime in the past 4 years, something snapped in my brain, and I just stopped talking. I stopped talking to people. I stopped giving a fuck about everyone, and it's not been a fun way to live life. Let me put it that way. I feel like I've turned into a coward because I'm afraid to speak my own mind, to voice my own opinions. Okay, it's one of these planets. Get the fuck back off. Oh man, it's like 3-4 planets in a row right here. Technically 5, if you count the one I'm on right now. A lot going on in this system. There was one over here, wasn't it? Yeah. Although the perfect planet is the one I'm going to go for. Because it has what we're looking for, which is activated cadmium. Excuse me. But, yeah, I've been kind of a coward. I haven't been myself at all. And it's it sucks. It feels weird to realize that, number one. And number two, it sucks not being yourself. You would think, especially at my age, you know, I would have had myself put together like, oh, you know, of course just be yourself. That's easy. That's the advice we give to kids, you know what I'm saying? Be yourself. For a good, huge chunk of my life, I was a huge talker, but then I just stopped. I didn't care anymore about what anyone said or why or how they said it. I just stopped giving a fuck. Anywho, enough about myself for a moment. Let's go over the ship I'm in while the storm is going on. So this is what I was talking about, where I think it might feel like a little cheating. So I got this ship from the coordinate exchange. And, boy, this thing is set up. It had a lot. I think 5 supercharged slots. There were 3 right here, and there was another one right here for sure. I don't know if there was another one here. No, I think that was just those ones. And so Yeah, just those 4 really. And so this is what we got right here. I kitted this out to be as strong as I could possibly make it, and it so far I haven't came, but I only fought 1 ship, and it melted that thing's shields and everything like so fucking fast it wasn't even funny. My DPS was out of fucking control with this thing. Shield strength, I haven't had a chance to test out my shield strength, and engine speed and maneuverability is, you know, it is what it is. Interesting. Okay. Okay. So maneuverability 7, maneuverability 9, maneuverability 6. You know, it would almost behoove me to find better upgrades for this to where, you know, I get a higher maneuverability rating. I'd almost say I should pop some open and see what happens, or just keep buying them. I mean, I would still need to keep buying them, but yeah, probably put these on my slower ships. Anywho, so what do you guys think? If anyone's watching, should I keep it? I'm leaning towards keeping it until someone tells me, and I'll just keep talking about it every stream. But I really like the design of it. This is the kind of ship, this cool looking ship that I actually like, you know, and this is really what I wanted to go for. So I'm not going to consider it cheating or being too cheaty, because I had to A, work for it, and B, it's not like, okay, so yes, I most certainly had to, you know, I found it from someone else, but isn't that the spirit of the game in a way? We're explorers, and we're in a universe, simulated universe, with many other explorers. Should it not be fair that I not only share what I find, but go to what other people find? Like, shouldn't that be a part? You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm trying to say? Shouldn't that be a part of how I choose to play this game? I kind of sort of think so. Of course, it benefits my position to feel that way. No duh, right? But I don't know. I don't feel guilty. So I'm gonna keep it for now, and I'll consider anything that I go to get from someone else, I want to contribute to giving to other people as well. So I'm pretty sure there's No Man's Sky Facebook page that you can share, because I don't feel like making a Reddit account just to share coordinates. So I might go to a Facebook page and share it. I think that right there makes sense. Anyways, let's find this activated cadmium. I'm not looking for anything else besides maybe the fishies. Yeah, I don't want to go up there anyways. Yeah, there's like none around here, is there? Are there? I'll wait till the storm passes before I... Probably gonna take my ship and go searching that way. Let's see where we are with creatures. 6 out of 14. Yikes. Ground, uncommon flying diurnal, common on the water, common on the water, common on the water, common on the water, rare underground, and common underground. Yikes, and we're not in a system where we can play that little game of, you know what I mean? Finding a building. I mean, we could find alien structures that might have carved out. And I do have alien charts on me, right? Right? Do I still have those on me? I do not. So, you know, I love this weather, because superheated weather, because I can travel far distances, but electrical disturbance detected. Like, what does that mean? Oh, they warn you at least. So I heard that lightning strikes can produce storm crystals, and that used to be a rumor in the game, but it eventually became a reality. Now, we know this planet does not have storm crystals. We've seen one by now. So I'm gonna keep my eyes open to see. Holy fuck, it is true. Ain't that something? they just don't make it like you'd expect it to. Like I was gonna think like, oh, it's gonna make them in the ground. Nope, they form the second they touch the ground. Hold on. I can't capture it right now. I was gonna do it, but I guess I have to upload it. Okay, so that's cool. I think this might be the first video I get back to uploading on the YouTubes, actually. Oh, found that bird. What else? Although it comes at a threat of people hearing me talk about stuff, but hey, you know, fuck it. That's why I do this. One of the only outlets I have to talk to people, so I'll take it. There's a ground, and we gotta find an underground one, and it's turning night, isn't it? I think this spot looks like it might be a good spot, a good area to find underground stuff, though. So you gotta wait till it stops storming so I can see. There's always something to be done, so. That's cool. We got some evidence. We did get storm crystals out of that. 5. Wow. So we did get some storm crystals. It is a fact. It does happen. Alright. Wait for the storm to clear because I think this might have a cave in this area. It does not. It might have it somewhere else around over here, but yeah, it might be a cave over here. Is my intuition correct? Not really. But yeah, I'm thinking about, well, a lot of things. So I broke up with my girlfriend a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago now, and I did it for my own health. We've broken up, quote unquote, permanently before and got back together with many promises being made of being better people and such. As you might imagine, none of that came to fruition, and the relationship felt like I was stuck. You know what I mean? Stuck in a very unhealthy relationship. Both, I didn't, before, when we first broke up, I felt like we were both really fucking toxic. Super toxic. And then we got back together against my better judgment. And ever since, it just felt like the toxicity was still there. It didn't go away. And it's like I was fighting against it. I was fighting against the toxicity that was never ever gonna go away. She wasn't helping. And while I'm not gonna sit here and say anything bad about her per se, I honestly 100% believe and feel in my heart that we, the two of us, are the worst people for each other. Like, absolutely the fucking worst. It almost felt like, you know, I was watching this show. It made me really kind of seal the deal of wanting to break up. And I hate to make it seem like a TV show made me do this, but there's a TV show called Kevin Can Fuck Himself. It's about it's a joke. It's like a play on the sitcom joke where the husband slash father, kind of like Everybody Loves Raymond, where he does these zany, wacky things. You know, some 40-some-year-old dude who's doing these zany, wacky things, and everyone around his sphere has to basically pick up and clean up for him. And so the show presents itself where whenever we're around Kevin or someone like Kevin, aka people with narcissistic borderline narcissistic personality, basically do these zany, wacky things without no regard for the people around them. They're being very childish and selfish, and they never take accountability or responsibility for anything. Nothing is their fault. They're the victims no matter how you do it. or how you plan it, but they're also the heroes. And it had this sitcom-y kind of feel and look to it whenever we were around Kevin. And it's only 2 seasons long, and the only other person that happened to was with Kevin's wife. So Kevin's wife, fuck, I forgot her name. does it make it even worse that I forgot her name? She's the main character. You would think Kevin is, but it's actually her show, and she's trying to leave. Okay, I'm gonna think of her name. Give me a second, because this is embarrassing. Fucking Christ, I could think of her fake name that she got when she left them finally. Gertrude. I could think of Kevin's friend, Neil. You know, I can't think of any of the female characters' names. What does that say about me? What exactly does that say about me? Wow. Wow. Yeah, I shouldn't think too deep into it, right? I'm gonna figure this out. Allison. Her name was Allison. So Allison, in Kevin's point of view, it was always like a sitcom-y kind of thing where he's doing these wacky, zany things. And I'm only going to talk about the first episode. I kind of spoiled it a little bit, but I guess, you know, you could probably see it coming. But the first episode, you know, Kevin and his wife Allison, who's the main character, he does this wacky thing. He breaks her table in the first episode, and she's really mad and upset about the broken table. And she leaves the room in a very sitcom-y, ha-ha, funny way. And then she goes into the kitchen, and it turns into this, like, drama, you know, 2010s drama show from her point of view of things. And she's, like, having a panic attack. When I was with my ex, I felt like Allison. I really did. I felt like I couldn't get away from this tiny little woman I was dating who was this uncontrollable force that just was grating away at who I was. But she was not the worst thing in my life. The worst thing in my life was ultimately myself. Not because I got back with her, but because before I met her, I kind of went through a period of shame. I felt a lot of shame for the kind of life I had lived, you know, before I met her. And because of this, I started withdrawing from the world. It's the best way to put it. I started withdrawing from myself, withdrawing into myself from everyone else. And I remember like something just kind of snapped in my head, and I just stopped caring about everyone. Before, I used to be a person that was always talkative, always wanted to talk about others, to others, about myself, about my experiences. And while that, to me, when I felt this high level of shame, it kind of felt like I was a narcissist. And in a lot of ways, I definitely probably was. I probably was a narcissist to a fucking T before that point. You know? And, afterwards, there we go. Oh, it's all in order. I would probably have to say, like, afterwards, after withdrawing into myself is where I started to not act or be myself, you know? And this is when I met her. So I don't blame her. Like I said, I don't think we would have worked out irregardless. If I was acting myself, we would have just walked away from each other sooner. That's it. That's all that would have happened. There would have been no heartache and drama like it was. And while I'll admit she definitely has her own issues, it doesn't matter if she does. Not anymore. That's the point of walking away. We figure out our own shit. But once again, had I been after myself, I doubt it would have ever made it that far. So I definitely don't feel anything towards her. You know, I don't feel like she's an evil, terrible, no good, very bad person or something. But like, we're two people who wanted to find love, and we tried to find it in the wrong person. And if she is watching, or if anyone here that knows her and knows me is watching, or if someone just wants to relate or empathize or even sympathize, look, I'm glad it's over in the sense that she can find someone. We both can find someone that's more appropriate for ourselves. And that's it. That's really all I care to say about it. Like I said, not because either of us are bad people, but it's so that we can find those that are better for us. So, yeah. I got a feeling I can get all the fishies in here, but it won't matter if I can't get those two. I mean, I can't get these stupid amounts. See, rare ground. I haven't even found that one yet. And there's a bunch of ground and 200 rounds. Great. I don't know. I guess me saying this is me finally trying to get back to being a little bit more open with others, myself, because what I went through, what we went through, was ultimately is very human. We aren't anything or anyone special. We're just two people that, once again, I think we were just trying to find love in the wrong person. That's it. And the first person we needed to find love with was ourselves. And when you go through a period of shame like I did, you're not gonna find love with who you are, because you're ashamed of who you are. You're terrified of who you are. You look down at who you are. And growing is moving past that. Don't make it about yourself, of course, but growing up is really just moving past that. It's like with anything in life. And that's something I haven't gave myself the chance to do. Because like I said, the second I realized this period of shame, 2 months later, I'm dating her. I didn't give myself a chance to fall in love, to understand who I am and fall in love with myself and go from there. To appreciate my past, even though it was some fucked up moments, there were a lot of good moments too. And that's the hard part, being able to grow past all of that and not just see the darkness, but see some light in there as well. I guess the upside is I don't have no problem looking through rose tinted glasses or nothing, but I need to find that balance within myself, to just be better, but not beat myself up at the same time. So when I broke up with her, I told myself, don't focus on other women, and not even a week into breaking up with her, I'm on dating sites. Partly because I felt like I needed to, the old logic of, you just need to have sex with somebody and you'll forget about her. But once again, eventually I loved the dating sites. I didn't meet anyone. I mean, I matched with a bunch of people. Who wouldn't match with me? I'm a handsome guy, but I matched with a bunch of people, but all the conversations fizzled out. I couldn't get over myself. There was one woman where I was trying to work things towards, but once again, it fizzled out because of me, because of who I am, because I wasn't focused on anyone else but myself. And let me be perfectly clear, I need to be focused on myself, but not in a manner in trying to impress anyone. I shouldn't be trying to impress anyone or doing it, because I need to impress myself, it's not about gaining confidence, it's about seeing the light where before I only saw darkness, And I need to take the time to put a flashlight to who I really was, and there's only really one real way to do that, and that's just to contemplate where I'm coming from while also working to improve. So a few months ago, I quit my job, just out the blue, just dropped what I was doing and quit and walked out. Not only did I feel overwhelmed at the job, but I just felt underappreciated. Now that right there, I don't think there was anything about me about quitting that job. I will say that I felt like that was the right decision to make in the moment. But I also felt a strong tinge of wanting to, or needing to, take some time out for myself. If you're wondering how I'm making money, well, I get money from the government, however long the government's gonna last. And I figured, I need to just shut my brain off and take a second or two to kind of put my life into perspective and to put everything into perspective, really. So I quit my job. I just walked right off, and part of me wants to find another job just to have that extra money, that extra income to, do stuff, buy stuff that I want. But another part of me is just like, hell the fuck no, Terrence. Take care of yourself. And that's what I feel like I should do, is just take care of myself. I really feel like I should just take care of myself right now. So yeah, that's what I'm doing with my life. For all the people that don't know me, who would never question what's up with me, that's Terrence. That's me. That's what's going on. And I got activated cadmium, and we just need some more indium, and we can get out of this system. So back to the game. All the major quests, while we're waiting for the storm to pass, all the major quest lines are finished. So let's go over them. The Purge reset the simulation. Now this was yesterday when I finished this, and it was, when this Xbox is going through the whole, your stream is on, your stream is off, your stream is on, your stream is off. I was trying my best to always make sure that my stream was on, but it was difficult, to say the least. However, what was discovered was that the universe is a simulation. Now, of course, from a real world perspective, this is a video game, but the universe is a simulation, and never really figured out about Noel. But when it came, I'm guessing Noel was another traveler. But when it came down to Atlas, not Atlas. Fuck, I forgot their name too. Fuck. Anyways, the other dude we were trying to help out, basically they were another traveler in another universe. Basically, we could never meet up with each other, but we found out that the Atlas is dying, and the only way to fix the Atlas is to reset it by reaching the center of the galaxy. So that's our overarching goal. That's always been our... Oh, wait. Everything froze for a moment. That's always been my goal, personal goal, is just to make it to the center of the galaxy. And that's our ultimate goal, really, is to reach the center, or to reset the simulation, as you can tell. It's the ultimate goal. But reset the simulation, progress towards the galactic core. So that's what we're going to be doing. As far as this, I finally got the weapons guy. We're just looking to get the agricultural guy and the exocraft guy. So we got to, do those two at some point. At some point, they just start giving you quests. It's just something to keep you busy work. You can use them to get upgrades. So let's, if you were just starting out in this game, this is a way for you to get not upgrade modules, but base upgrade parts and components, and crafting recipes for base parts and components by doing, like, oh shit. And technology upgrades by doing these little tiny quests. So, like, come get me 100 cadmium or something, and you go get it, and they give you an upgrade or something, or give you a new base component to build or some shit. So that's all these are gonna be. All of these are gonna be doing. So I'm gonna build an exocraft station in our little work area, but for the most part, we. Okay, it feels like my game keeps freezing. But anyways, for the most part, we do have these 1, 2, 3 quests to be doing. So I'm probably gonna... These are the next 3 quests, but however, I want to start doing some... is there another big one? There are other big ones that'll pop up as we complete these 3 quests, but right now I kind of want to just chill out and adventure around. One of those adventuring around things I want to do right now is to find an underground spot to... Any place that might have an underground, which I don't know if we'll find. Let me go up into space. Man, it's 4,000 nanites. A lot to lose out on. You know what I'm saying? maybe not 4,000, but I would like to get these nanites, but I think it's gonna be like that one planet from a long time ago where I can't find the last two creatures because they're underground, and finding underground spots on a planet with this much water and broken up land is really difficult. I'm not gonna say impossible, but it's really difficult, and so I don't think we'd find it no matter how hard we try. And that, I'm not saying that I don't think I'd ever find the creatures, I just don't know. You know, in a lot of ways we won't, because we need to find like a continuous bit of land that isn't broken up by water to actually search for these creatures. And I don't know if that's possible on this planet, especially with these rainstorms coming off and on, off and on, off and on. Yeah, it's just too much. So I'm gonna leave this planet alone. We got what we needed anyways. We got what we came here for. I'm gonna find a blue system to continue our journey. And would you look at that, there's one right here. I wonder if there's a blue pirate system around here. First off, let me make it easier on myself. Where am I at? So we know this is a red system. Let me do that, because there are blue systems, right? Am I just tripping? There we go. Let me make it look. Make sure I'm in. So this is saying I'm in a blue system. I know that's not true. These are purple systems. Maybe it is true. What? Okay, let me look and see what color systems for India. I thought India were blue systems. In blue star systems, that's what I thought. We're in a blue star system. Okay, so we're in a red. Okay, I think this would be a blue. Okay, I'm working with this, but there's so much going on. Let's see if I can't find a blue pirate system, if that's possible. Nope. There's a lot of blue systems though. This one's very blue. 5PF. It's really hard to see blue in this gas cloud, but over here they stand out a bit more. Yeah. I think trying to find a blue pirate system is a waste of my time. I think I'm looking for too much with that. It's probably easier to find a blue dissonance system than a blue pirate system. There's a lot of purple ones though. Seems like every blue system is just empty. And there's a blue dissonant. Yeah, I should probably just stick to what's close to me. Actually, I do want to look over here just because they're easier to find. Okay, let's just choose one. What about this one right here? Maybe not. It's a Gek system. Nothing wrong with the Gek. Cool guys. How far away is that from? That's not too far away from where I am. Fuck it. Let's go. We might be in space battle territory, which should actually be pretty good because I want to see how powerful this ship is. Yep. There we go. Let's see how powerful this ship is. Look at that shit. Just melts shields. Shields and ships. And their whatchamacallits. I have to reset my game. It seems to be moving pretty sluggishly. God damn. That's crazy though. Holy shit. Really got to be careful when I'm in the freighter shields like that though. Especially when other ships are around. They are crossing heavily into my line of fire. Yeah, it's kind of hard when they're in my line of fire. Oh boy. They're getting wrecked though. So I can melt these ship shields like really fast, but they just keep getting in my way. The other ships. There we go. All right. I think the ship did pretty dang well. Although it does suffer from having weak ass shields. Can't do much about that. No, Scott. Not eating yet. Oh, my dog, she is. You know what? I should feed them. Let me go do that for her real quick, guys. Let me get this money and I'm gonna go feed my dogs. They both probably. They looking so hungry. They just ate, but. Alright. I'm gonna press pause. I'll be right back.
received. Request received. Product received. Product received. Product received.
You know, this whole time I was talking and my mic was muted. Sorry about that for whoever was watching. Didn't know what was going on or what I was talking about. Wow, and I was talking about a lot of stuff. Boy, do I not feel like repeating myself. Fucking A, I was just talking. I knew I should have... Yeah, that's on me. That is on me. So, if you guys are just not joining, welcome to my streams, Inebriated Games, where we play games under the influence. However, I have not been under the influence in a hot minute because I have been sulking tremendously. I probably had my mic muted ever since I went to go feed my dogs, actually. So anyways, what I can talk about though is what we're doing right now. So I warped my ship into this dissonance system, this yellow dissonance system. A while ago we learned that we have difficulty warping into dissonance system, or finding dissonance spikes in certain systems. One of those certain systems, and the only systems that really work are yellow star systems where we can find dissonance spikes. So I warped my freighter there. For some reason, it wouldn't say that I couldn't warp it there from when I was in the system on just my starship. So I went back to my freighter to drop some stuff off. I bought a bunch of shit. You guys saw that. But where am I going? So now we're just trying to go to another distance system, get echolocators, because I don't have any on my ship because I deleted all of them not too long ago because I got tired of getting the quest marker for it. And I just warped to my freighter from my freighter. Oh boy. Something else I said earlier, which I think the mic was not muted for, was that I am stopping drinking. And, I've been drinking recently wine. Not a lot, just whatever I had left from all my cooking. But, man, when you're sobering up, it takes about a month or 3, but your brain is just completely foggy in that time frame. Like I said, it takes about a month or 3, but once your brain starts clearing up, God, you can see the world so much more better. You can communicate better, and so on and so forth. Kind of ties into the conversation about, why I wanted, trying to be more myself, open up a little bit more, talk a little bit more, yada, yada, yada. So... Anywho, so I'm going here to farm up those echolocators, but I've been meaning, I was already prepping to come here, so I've been meaning to come here to also finish making this base. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about trying to make this place perfect. So I've been meaning to come here to fix up this base anyways. And now that we're here, I'm gonna see if there's anything else I can buy. You're a ferrite. Magnetized ferrite, for sure. So I'm about to go through a lot of it again. There's a storm coming, apparently. Oh, this is a gravity storm, I forgot. So where exactly was that base? I knew I was gonna lose it if I left and came back. I feel like it was somewhere, I know it was like past some trees, so maybe it's over this way. Fuck. I was hoping to see it from right here. Well, that's a lot of sodium. I was hoping I'd be able to see it from the air since we got this gravity storm going on, but I have absolutely no fucking clue. I put down like one thing of it. Alright. There's only one other way I could think to find it. And that is to... What's the power hotspot? Mineral survey it. Mineral survey for it. It has to be somewhere over in this direction, right? So I know I had to go through the trees to find it. Yep, there it goes. Yep, and that is it right here too. Alright, so let's put out a safe beacon right here. So I don't lose it again. Yeah, let's go ahead and start putting out these mineral extractors. I don't know why I didn't do that last time, just throw down a fucking save beacon, but whatever. Here we are. We're making stuff happen regardless, so. I was talking about, however, Made in Abyss. I don't know if anyone's ever seen that. Very, very interesting show. I was saying, amongst other things, that it was quote-unquote one of those anime. And what I mean by that is that it had some quirks and isms that I kind of do not like in anime. First off, it had the little boy, little girl thing going on. It's a good anime. It's a good premise, but it's distracting when it has that kind of dynamic going on. You know what I mean? And that's what I mean by that type of anime. I'm not gonna explain it too much because, you know, I don't want my fledgling Twitch channel here to get banned. But it's by itself is not too gratuitous compared to some other ones out there. Like it's definitely not no Kodomo no Jikan, if you know what I mean. God damn, I ran out of that shit already too. It's definitely not one of those kind of anime. Fuck, I gotta go buy more or get more. At least I know where it's at now. I don't even know where my base is at. So it's definitely no Kodomo no Jikan, not by a long shot. However, it's borderline gratuitous. And I was talking about how I get that there are other anime that are gratuitous in other ways, and I mostly brought that up because that being that kind of anime is not that bad in it. It's the other stuff when you consider it, and you consider them together, that makes it a little bit too much for me almost. And that is the fact that it has, for whatever reason, a lot of child torture. Like, they torture kids in that show like crazy, to the point where, once again, it's almost gratuitous and almost a little bit, you know, masturbatory in a way. And I'm just sitting here like it's a good premise. It's a really good show with a really good premise, and I really, really, really want to enjoy it. And, you know, to be honest, the only way I can enjoy it is by just turning off my brain and letting it be what it is, and not trying to make too much of a big deal out of it, right? You know, I could use all that fucking ferrite dust for I have in my base to make metal platings. I don't have to buy it. I got so much fucking ferrite dust. But anyways, you know, I get that. That's all I gotta do. Turn off your brain a little bit, you know, no problem. No big deal, right? It's just, you know, together with everything else, it kind of makes it a little bit hard. But, you know, turn off your brain. And so that's what I did to enjoy-ish the first season. And, you know, I said I might end up downloading the second season, which, you know, here shortly I'm going to pause the stream and I'm going to cook my dinner. I'm cooking breakfast for dinner, you know, my usual breakfast for dinner. And I'm going to... Hey, so we know this one gives us an echolocator each time. I only need one. So, if I need another one, I know where to come back to. They respawn every 12 hours, right? So... now I gotta find my base. In the midst of this localized gravity inversion. Okay, there it goes. So, like I said, I'm gonna download season 2 because I do think the premise is really good. Like, really, really good. It's just, it's one of those things you really gotta keep your eyes open for in terms of what you're watching. I think I actually will go back to my home base. And, take a lot of that fucking pure ferrite to make metal plating, because I just go through metal plating like crazy. I was trying to figure out what I could use that ferrite dust for, but at least now I know, because just go through. It's just some of these bigger pieces of equipment just goes through metal plating, and you know. So back to the conversation. I get that be a big boy because there's other anime that are even more gratuitous. Like if you want to talk about kids dying, you know, just look no further than things like Attack on Titan. Yeah, Attack on Titan has a lot of fucking childhood, a lot of child death and trauma going on in it. There's no getting around that. How much should I bring in here? 1, 2, 3,000. So I make 3,000 of metal plating. So like, Attack on Titan is gratuitous in a lot of ways as well. It's just gratuitous in its death, anyways. It's almost a gore anime. But like, I don't know. I guess when it's kids involved, you get a little bit squeamish because you're like, I don't want to be watching one of those kind of anime, and then they throw in this kid torture shit going on. Like, I'm not gonna ruin it, and I'm glad. I kind of ruined it when I was talking about it before, but I'm not gonna say much about it now. But man, it was, like I said, I'm gonna watch season 2, even though I'm kind of mentally prepared for what's gonna happen because of what happened in season 1, and they're gonna make a 3rd season of this. But it is a fantasy anime, which is what drew me to it. And a lot of people were talking. They never went into details. Now I know why, about what kind of an anime it was. But I'll say the one positive is that it's a really good fantasy anime. And had the characters been at least aged up to like maybe says somewhere between 16 to 22, you know, I think I would have been able to stomach it more. And I don't get their, you know, I feel like the choice they made to make. Okay, I just did that again. The choice they made to make them like kids, like I think the oldest kid we see is 13 or something like that, with the average age being around 12. Like I feel like the reason they did it is for the shock value, honestly. Like I don't think it's all about, you know, I don't think it's necessary. This is what made me able to watch it, because you know I was thinking when I was watching, I was like, I think this is for the shock value. Like this is like Grave of the Fireflies level of childhood trauma they're inducing. But the premise is really good. And the story is actually, you know, you exclude all the extra shit, the story is actually really good. It actually made me tear up in a few moments. However, it is one of those anime, not the most heinous, not by a long shot, but it is one of those anime. And the child torture scenes, you know, scenes might put you off. Looking at Reddit, there were a bunch of folks that complained about being put off from it as well. So like I said, I don't feel alone in my thoughts on this, but how far away is this one? 232 meters. Okay. I think that is the exact distance it needs to be in order to make it over there. The power. It's not too long, not too far. Oh, sitting me with the cannot build because it's too close to Starship bullshit. Oh, how annoying. We might have to do this one more time to get all the way over here. Yeah, just as a fair warning to everyone, once again, oh, too close to Starship. I purposely went way out of my way. I think I'd just be saying that shit. I wasn't kidding. We definitely had to do it one more time. All right. Another supply depot. Yeah, I'll admit, there's definitely worse, more egregious anime out there for a lot of different things, but whatever, I guess. So I'm gonna download that here shortly. What else am I downloading? I downloaded that Red Ranger Transported to Another World, and that one seems a little bit egregious too. Not for the reasons I only saw like half the first episode, but it seems like they're relishing mocking the Super Sentai drama of a Super Sentai type series, which is okay. I get that at least. Like, I get that at least. You know, I don't care how it works as long as it can do that. 287 an hour, 282 an hour, 317 an hour, 320 an hour. Nice. But yeah, I get that they're mocking the Super Sentai stuff, and I'm probably gonna finish watching that one for sure. It has its moments. It's corny as shit. It reminds me of a 90s anime, if anything. So yeah, since I quit my job, I've been like taking this time to like really indulge in my anime. I don't want to say anime fetish, because then it's really gonna come off wrong. But indulge in my anime. So another one I want to watch. I was just talking about this. What's another one I want to watch? I'm gonna download that here in a second too. Once I start cooking my dinner. Fuck, it's not Made in Abyss, but it's not a fantasy anime, I think. So my phone, I just turned my phone off though. Yeah, there's another fantasy anime I want to download that's apparently really popular. But I like fantasy anime, and it seems like it's finally making a comeback. Where before, fantasy anime was kind of dominated with the isekai genre, you know, the teleport to another world nonsense. Like, oh, look at me, I've teleported to this other world, and I'm doing teleport to other world stuff. You know, it was kind of dominated with that for a while. I said it's Planetary Probe up. Kind of glad that shit's over, though. Yep, this is where we're going to. Yep, so, anywho, let's clear our inventory. Bro. I barely have any, and I mean absolute any metal plating left. That's crazy. What? Okay, what else? Solar mirrors are still what I need. I got the computers, right? Yeah. Solar mirrors are what I need more of. Let's put all of these excess elements up. We did go through quite a few things, though. Take this oxygen. Ionized cobalt. Yeah. But yeah, just throwing that one out there. Yeah, I've really been indulging in anime lately, though, and I'm not ashamed of that. That's why I quit my job, just to kind of, I guess, in a way, to kind of come back to peace with myself. Because lately I've been in a funk, and since I'm able to do that, I'm taking advantage of it while I have a quote unquote, while I still have a chance to do it. Who knows how long things will last this position, so. What's the old saying? Better enjoy it while it lasts, right? Anywho, enough of the doom and gloom talk. I'm gonna check for this Sentinel ship, and whatever we find, I'm probably gonna stop the stream right there before I go and do any more with it, because I really love the coloring on this ship. It's just, it is a C-class. I have these wings, but I'm gonna get the fuselage. I'm just waiting to get another type of these ships so I can make sure I have the fuselage and the nose. But I think it's a Viking ship, right? You know, you can tell that some ships that can be found in certain systems and such. I think it's a Viking or a Gex ship. Might be Korvax. I might be all wrong. But if I find another one, I'm gonna, you know, use it. Anyways, let's use this echolocator.
Navigational data received.
Alright. Oh, still our ship priority proximity. Fungal mold, salvageable scrap, copper, ammonia, silver, dissonance detector. I don't go through enough copper whatsoever to have a copper farm, but I was like, you know, since I already got this planet built up for dissonance shit, may as well let's just go ahead and get it. And now that we know there's that harmonic thing that drops echo locators, that means it's always going to drop an echo locator. So if we ever find another dissonance system we want to go searching around in, like this one, we can always just go there and get our free one. Oops. Not mean. Let's go shoot. Oh, this is one of these kinds of planets. By one of these, I mean super fucking mountainous. Did I get an inverted mirror that I didn't throw away? I did not. Okay. Oh, yikes. It's going to be incredibly difficult to find one. Well, let's see what we have on this planet before I start worrying about all that. Let's see what kind of ship we have. Here we go. What's the puzzle? 1439. I've heard that upgrading multi-tools and ships produces a better, stronger version of that ship versus if you were to just find or get a ship outright, like an S-class ship outright. Anyways, let's go see what kind of ship we have and hope that the terrain is a little bit easier to navigate. So let me do that just in case this is a place that's worth visiting.
Technology recharge.
Did put that recharge thing on it, right? Oh boy. Been having no luck with this system and being able to use my pulse engine. What kind of ship spawns on this planet? It's gonna be something cool. Maybe. Well, whatever it is, like I said, I'm gonna pause the stream and come back to it. This is like a baby sentinel ship. Oh, it's another interceptor. Nice. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. This thing looks pretty cool. Okay. I'm liking it. It's a C class, though, which means you could probably find an A class on this planet. First off, are there any inverted mirrors around here? Around here, not a single fucking one. We got some of our stars. We got some of our starship though, so we can always just come back here and get it. Let me put down a save beacon. I don't know how many of those I've put down in my life. We could always come back and pick it up. Let me save. All right, everybody. Like I said, I'm gonna pause the stream. I'm gonna jump in my ship though while that's happening because I'm still gonna be actively playing the game. But I'm actually gonna save this ship. Maybe try to find another one on this planet. Yeah, we'll see. Anyways, yeah, I'll be right back. Let me jump in my ship right now, by the way.